Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rihanna Tyas and I'm a student from MTS Negeri Samarinda. And today I'm going to tell you guys a story about Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, there was Ange, a very poor woodcutter who lived in the forest with his wife and his two children named Hansel and Gretel. One day, their stepmother told her husband that they ought to abandon them in the forest. The stepmother said, "There is not enough food in this house for all of us. There are too many mouths to feed. We must get rid of the two breads," she declared. For that way, the small amount of food they had left would all be for them. And she kept trying to persuade her husband to abandon his children in the forest. "Take the mouse from here, so far that they can never find their way back. Maybe someone will find them and give them home," she said. But Hansel, who one evening had overheard his parents' conversation, comforted Gretel. "Don't worry, Gretel. If they do leave us in the forest, we'll find the way home," he said. Their father was persuaded, and they abandoned the children in the forest. But Hansel, he was very bright. He was dropping crumbs of bread along the path so that they would be able to find their way home. That night, they slept, and at dawn, they looked for the crumbs of bread. But they did not find any because the birds had eaten them up. They walked and walked, lost in the immense forest, and in the very deepest part of it, they came upon a pretty little house. When they came near to the pretty little house, they realized that it was made of candy, cakes, and chocolate. They are too hungry that they started to eat the bricks made of candy and chocolate, stuffing them in greedily. "Isn't this nice?" Gretel said. But suddenly, out of the house came a witch. The witch said, "What's going on here? Who is eating my house?" She was a wicked witch who had built the house with sweetmeats to attract the children so that she could eat them up. That's how was Hansel and Gretel fell into the trap led by the wicked witch. The witch shut Hansel up in the cage, gave him lots of cake to eat to fatten him up for the pot. She set Gretel to work helping her in the kitchen, but she was intending to eat her up too. Days went by, and when the witch saw that Hansel is not getting any fatter, she decided to cook him and eat him. The little girl was very frightened when she saw the fate that awaited her big brother. The witch prepared the oven for Hansel, but decided she was hungry enough to eat Gretel too. So she coaxed Gretel to the open oven and brought her to lean over in front of it to saw if the fire is hot enough. Gretel sensed the witch's intent, pretended she did not understand what she meant. Infuriated, the witch demonstrated, and Gretel instantly shoved the witch into the oven, slammed and bolted the door shut, leaving the ungodly witch to be burned to ashes. The witch screaming in pain until she died. Gretel freed Hansel from the cage, and the pair discovered a vast treasure and precious stones. Putting the jewels into their clothing, the children set off for home. A swan ferried them across an expanse of water, and at home they only saw their father. His wife was died by unknown cause. The father has spent all his day lamenting the loss of his children and was delighted to see them safe. And they all live happily ever after. The end. So, the moral message that can be taken by this story is do not be ever to your own family and always protect your family no matter what happens. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.